Hey, welcome back to RamZland. Today I want to share with you the single displacement reaction between calcium and water. Check this out. All I'm using in this investigation is a test tube filled with water attached to this pipette, of course, calcium, some phenolphthalein that I'm going to use as an indicator, and a graduated cylinder with 100 milliliters of distilled water. You might remember that calcium is an alkaline earth metal. It has 20 protons. It's the 5th most abundant metal on Earth, and it's the most abundant metal in the human body. It helps build healthy bones. Adding calcium to water creates a single displacement reaction where hydrogen gas is released and you create calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is alkaline, and I want to test that with phenolphthalein. So I'm going to start by adding a few drops of phenolphthalein to this graduated cylinder of distilled water. Phenolphthalein is clear in the presence of water or an acid, and you can see that there's no color change at this time, but when I add it to my calcium hydroxide, you'll see what happens. Since this is an exothermic reaction, I wanted to use my infrared thermometer to get a read on that water before the reaction takes place, and it looks like it's around 67.8 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll check it again at the end of the reaction. Once you add your calcium, it'll start to produce hydrogen gas, and you can test that by igniting it as it comes out the pipette, and you'll see the production of a flame. Let's test that temperature and see if our reaction was exothermic. Let's get a read on it. And it's definitely hotter than it was at the beginning, up to 83 degrees. So one of my favorite parts in this reaction is when we test the alkalinity of the calcium hydroxide that we made. You can see that the solution is very milky, but what happens when I add it to my solution of phenolphthalein? Immediately you'll see this amazing change in color. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Here's a little more. So this is an exothermic single displacement reaction. We started with the reactants calcium, Ca, and water, H2O, and that created the products calcium hydroxide, CaOH2, and hydrogen gas, H2. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's edition of RamZland, and I'll see you next time.